So I had some thoughts recently about uh, the whole mental health awareness issue of people, specifically what we would call neurodivergent people, or people who have been subjected to varying different kinds of trauma. And this is in no way, shape, or form trying to downplay trauma or neurodivergency. I have never necessarily been diagnosed with a neurodivergency, but I've certainly experienced at least physical and emotional trauma, and most people would probably not argue that I have something like ADHD or something to that nature, and I would certainly not disagree with anybody that I have ADHD. Okay. That being said, and I understand how it is important that the neurotypical people, or people that have not suffered from trauma, learn to be empathetic and compassionate towards people who have neurodivergencies and traumas, but it has to be a two-sided thing if you actually want to heal, unless you want to spend the rest of your life saying, well, I've had trauma, autism, or fill in the blank or whatever. You need to be no, the neurotypical and the non-traumatized people don't understand us. And hopefully they never will, because that means that they can just go and live in a happy, normal life without having to deal with all of the extra crap that is involved in having a neurodivergency or a healing from trauma, 'cause, you wouldn't wish that on anybody else, would you? I wouldn't. I guess the point there, one of the points being, is one of the pitfalls of not being understood by normal people is the ease at which one could, if you've struggled and suffered your life with neurodivergencies and trauma, then a lot of times that's really all you have in life, is a sense of accomplishment for surviving and working through all this. And the thing could be, well, now I've got a chip on my shoulder. You don't know who I am. You don't understand my life. And if you don't understand, then screw off. And okay, if that's the way you want to see it, you do that. I don't want to do that. I do not want to live my life that way. Theoretically, it would be a lot easier for a person with a neurodivergency, or maybe not easier, maybe that's not the right word to use, because neurodivergent people and people who have suffered from trauma, they say, oh, they're some of the kindest, most empathetic and loving people, because they know how sucky life can be, and so they know it's important to be kind to other people. So be kind to the people that don't understand you. That would be what I would say. And if they're trying to reach out and help, but it's in some really silly neurotypical way, appreciate it. They're trying. Might be kind of silly and stupid about it, but they're trying. You should at least appreciate that much. And so then I realize, I look around and I see other neurotypical people trying to communicate in certain ways that I don't understand. It seems like a foreign language to me. And then I not able to communicate with them in such a fashion, and then I come off as a butthole because I don't know how to communicate in their fashion. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, I see y'all doing this stuff and talking like this and behaving in such a fashion. I understand it, but I'm not sure how to engage in the conversation at this point, because it's not a way that I'm like comfortable or understand fully how to do. So the probably the best thing to do is to maybe learn how to do that, because the only other option is to just like screw yourself out of further opportunities in life, because you're too proud of your neurodivergency and your trauma to understand maybe a neurotypical point of view. And yes, there are lots of dingbat neurotypicals that are very unempathetic and not very compassionate whatsoever. And you can't let a couple bad apples spoil the batch, you know what I mean? Can't throw the baby out with the bathwater and all that jazz. So, you can do what you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I think and what I believe to be relatively beneficial and insightful as far as my life is concerned. Anyways, taking up enough of your time, and I hope you all are having a good evening, and I'll holler at you again some other time. All right, nighty night.